Senior Moments, sponsored by the Empowering Seniors Group on News Talk KVNU, 102 FM and 610 AM.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Senior Moment Show. My name is Bryce Patton, here with Sid Roeder, my co-host. Sid, how are you?
I am doing great. How about you?
I'm lovely. You know, I'm a little sad summer's starting to wind down.
Don't say that. Just don't say that.
Okay. I have enjoyed some of the cooler weather that we've had the last little bit, but
yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah. I like the heat. I feel like I'm a cactus. I thrive in heat.
Fantastic. I'm excited for our guest, but before we get started, would you like to tell us all about our sponsor?
Absolutely. Our sponsor is the Empowering Seniors Group, which is a group of professionals that has dedicated their time and effort to provide information to seniors, their family members, and any individual that cares. And Reed's Pharmacy, who is actually a guest today, is a member of the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about the Empowering Seniors, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info, or you can email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com, and the CV stands for Cache Valley. And lastly, if you have any suggestions for this show, anyone you would like to see us invite, you can reach me personally at 435-512-6406.
Oh, thank you. All right, we have Adam Smoot from Reed's Pharmacy. You're the Director of Marketing, and I know you fairly well, but for our audience, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and why you do what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Bryce. Yeah, so my name's Adam. I'm a student at Utah State, first and foremost. I gotta graduate before I keep climbing that career path I have. But yeah, I've been with Reed's for about a little over a year now. I've been going around representing the pharmacy for some of what we can offer, and I've been working with some great people there. Eric and Mike and Tureen are some great pharmacists, and so Bryce has been very helpful for me. Kind of took over the role after he had his own ventures, and it's been good going so far.
So now I'm a little curious what your major is. Are you in marketing, or are you in going to be a pharmacist?
Marketing would make more sense, but I'm in economics and finance. So not the exact path that I've chosen, but I'm far enough. I just got to finish and then see where it takes me after that. And so a good background in economics has been helpful.
That's awesome. So what drew you to the pharmacy?
Yeah. So I've done sales for a lot of my life. I'd gone out and I knocked doors mostly, but I realized that that's not very sustainable. Didn't want to do that, and realized that I do enjoy sales. And so I was looking. I was like, so had some buddies go into the software route, but for me, I was like, I don't know a lot about the medical field, but I do think it's interesting, the pharmaceutical world. I think a lot of advancements are coming with that, and a lot of technology is pushing that forward. And so I was like, I think this is something a little more sustainable. And so I saw a job opening for it, went and interviewed with them, and really enjoyed the process of that. And so that's kind of how I got started in it. And then from there, I realized that I love it, and I do enjoy talking to people about it. And so I think that's my career path from here, and being able to help people with their medications health is always changing. Like, people are always, there's a lot of different avenues that medicine can go from here. And so I'm excited to be a part of it.
That sounds like a good plan and a broad education there. So when we're talking about Reed's Pharmacy, now that you're working for them, what is one of the things that stands out to you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that stands out to me is that there's a lot of solutions to problems. And what I mean by that is, growing up, I kind of thought that if you went to any doctor, they'd give you one route, right? And they'd be like, this is the right answer to this ailment. And so with that, I learned that there's a lot of solutions, and there's a lot of opinions in the medical field. And so a lot of times it can be confusing, who do I go to get the right answers? Because it's easy to search things up, but sometimes you want something more personalized. And so having Eric and Tureen and Mike, and they have very similar opinions, but they do have different approaches. And I think that's the benefit of going to a small family-owned pharmacy is you can get a lot more personalized help as opposed to just very broad, generalized, information on the internet. And so the thing that stood out to me is I would, go talk to different doctors and kind of learn about their practices and how they operate. And I think I learned, I was like, oh, this doctor is taking a different approach to medicine than this doctor. And that's something that I think is really fascinating too, because they're all very, very educated. Obviously, they're in the medical field. They've done their time, and yet there can be very differing opinions on that. And so for me, it's like I kind of can form my own opinion, but obviously a lot less qualified. And so it's fun to be kind of the middleman for that.
One thing that I always loved is that it is personal care.
Mm-hmm.
At Reed's, if you go in there, you can get FaceTime with the pharmacist.
Absolutely.
And you get to meet them, talk to them, and they'll sit down and be like, okay, well, what's going on? Let's look through your meds and really find a solution to your problem.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those solutions has been compounds,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And you want to tell us a little bit about compounds and kind of what service that is and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to touch super quick, I know you mentioned that the personalized care, that actually I think is one of the most valuable aspects of a pharmacy. I was going to mention that I think, I have a lot of little different talking points of when I go talk to these clinics around the Cache Valley, but the main one is that the care you get from the pharmacist is top-notch, and so it's very personalized, and going in is very valuable. But yeah, with the compounds, it is very, that goes along with the personalization of it. It is very, interesting process to see. You've been in there, you've seen the compounders at work, and it's very fun to, it's kind of like it was new to me at least, to see like the lab of it where they're, making all the potions or whatever you want to call it, but to make the creams, and you can turn it into a gel and turn into pills, and to do everything like that. I think that's awesome. And for me, I get to see some of the cool stories with it. We had one client that had a lot of pain, down the legs and the joints. And we were able to make a pain cream for them that did change their life quite a bit, and was able to help them walk a lot smoother and kind of feel like they used to feel.
So I'm a little curious before we head into our first break. Do you feel like a lot of people ask questions, and also with some of the over-counter stuff, do you feel like people follow the marketing more, what they see online, or that they actually go to the pharmacist and say, between these two products, what do you recommend?
That's a great question, and I'd say more often than not, I feel more like the person asking the question than the one that has the answers there. But yeah, no, so I'd say that a lot of times people come in with an opinion or something that they found online, and a lot of times, the pharmacist can kind of direct them and say, yeah, that confirm that, and be like, yeah, that is the case. Oftentimes they can say, oh, that's kind of a misconception, or maybe that works for this group of people, but with your specific case, I would recommend this. And so that is a good value proposition as well for that. So, I think I've seen people come in, and I think, we offer a lot of services, but the face-to-face communication is definitely the most important there.
Thank you. We have just enough time, Adam, for you to mention your location and your phone number in case somebody wants to get in touch with you.
Yeah, we're located down in Hiram, right next to the Ridley Supermarket. They're at 790 East Main Street, and the phone number is 435-245-3784.
Thank you very much. This is the Senior Moments Show. We're visiting today with Adam Smoot. He is the Director of Marketing at Reed's Pharmacy. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know 1 in 3 people will visit a nursing home? Did you know that once there, they will stay there for an average of 3 years? Did you also know there are insurance options that can help cover this experience? Hi, I'm Tracy Ferris with Blue Water Health Insurance. It's not cheap to stay in a full-fledged nursing home. Long-term care insurance can help you or a loved one get the care they need and deserve. If you wait until you need it, you may be too late. Give me a call at 435-890-8155.
In today's world, we often think it's cheaper to order through the mail, right? In the case of prescriptions, that's not always true. Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, is often less expensive than mail order plans. Plus, you can talk to the pharmacist in person or on the phone. Who better to help navigate the confusing world of medicine than the pharmacists at Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram? Reed's trained pharmacists will help you navigate the maze of healthcare. Call 245-DRUG for more information. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
You have a lot of options when it comes to buying or selling a home. Do you list it online, sell it yourself, or do you have a realtor help? It's a major financial and emotional decision. A realtor is the liaison between buyers and sellers and really helps you navigate complex contracts, deadlines, and disclosures.
Hi, this is Sid Roeder with Achievement Realty.
I work for you to get the best outcome for your situation. Let me earn your trust with a free consultation and a free market analysis. Call me today at 512-6406. Then list it, sell it, and move on.
This is Mark Thurston with White Pine Funeral Services. The best time to plan is when you have time to plan. Having a pre-arranged funeral gives peace of mind for everyone involved. White Pine will customize your final wishes to fit your needs, from a traditional burial to cremation to a custom headstone. White Pine also accepts pre-arranged plans from other mortuaries, and we will absorb any transfer or revocation fees. No penalty to you. Visit whitepinefunerals.com or come and see us for more information.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Welcome back to the Senior Moment Show, everyone. My name is Bryce Patton with Sid Roeder here, and we've been talking with Adam Smoot from Reed's Pharmacy. He's the Director of Marketing, and we've been talking about just the personalized care and different things. You're all the way out in Hiram. Now, if somebody wants to fill it all the way out in Hiram, but they might live in Logan and don't want to drive out there, do you guys have any solutions for that?
Yeah. So that is a kind of a common grievance we hear is like, oh, it's a 15-minute drive down there, which I don't actually mind. I think it's kind of fun, but I understand if you would like to stay up in Logan. But yes, we do offer free delivery 6 days a week. We'll drop it off to your doorstep, just like Amazon. It'll come right to you. And so what we can do with that is a lot of times, people are like, oh, well, I'd like to switch. I actually had a friend that was getting it from a major pharmacy, and she wanted to switch over to us. And so it's really simple. She kind of thought it'd be more of a headache, but she just, talked to me for a second. I told her, yep, you just call in. We just let us know you want to switch it over to us. We'll ask you a few simple questions about some of your information. And after a couple minutes, we'll call into your current pharmacy and get it switched right over to us. So it's a pretty simple process that sometimes can appear to be a bigger headache than it really is. And so, yeah, I think for us, we have a delivery driver. They go around, do their route, and we can expand, pretty much most of Cache Valley from Smithfield and down to Paradise. And so quite a range there. And so that's something that I've been going around marketing for sure.
That's great. So, that's very senior friendly. Are there any senior specific things that come to your mind that Reed's is accommodating?
Yeah. So we do have some partnerships with some senior homes here. We do offer bubble packing. That has been one that we have offered. And yeah, we do try and make it as convenient as possible, especially for the seniors that are harder to get around. It's medications can get kind of tedious or hard to remember. It's a habit, and so we do have a couple options for helping it make it as convenient as possible for them.
So for seniors that maybe live in Hiram and do, like you said, or around Hiram and enjoy the little drive to your pharmacy, I know my parents are using these little containers. Mm-hmm. If you have a senior coming in with those, are you able to assist them to get those filled properly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. If they bring that in for us, we can take it and run with it for them and help them out with that. So that is something that we've marketed in the past. We're trying to help them with that. And so
now, you were talking earlier about a major pharmacy and different things. Reed's is an independent pharmacy.
Yep.
What, are they more expensive on the whole because they're independent, or do they have other benefits because they're independently owned? Have you seen that? Are there any pros or cons that way?
Yeah, and that's something that I've actually been learning along the way for sure is, most pharmacies lose money on a lot of drugs. That's just the nature of the business. That's the cost of it. It's so varied with insurance, and that can get kind of into the weeds with that. But one thing is for sure is, most big major pharmacies don't do compounding, which we kind of touched on. A lot more personalized to the specific needs. But we do look for rebates a lot more, I've noticed, than, I don't want to call them out like Walgreens or Smith's or a major chain. we will always look for the best way to save the patient money. And I actually have seen that. That's not just a marketing talking point. I've seen patients come in and I believe it was Eric, and he was just looking at it and he's like, oh, you've been paying that? He's like, there is something we can do to cut your price. And so if nothing else, it can be an option to come at least chat with us and see what you could be paying or what your insurance would cover with us or versus, a bigger company. And so that's kind of the trade-off, I think, of a family-owned local company as Reed's. And so we'll do everything we can to help the patient.
So I just want to circle back really quick to the compounding. So what kind of compounds do I have to visualize here? And this is typically recipes that you have, or do you find that clients come in with things they want you to put together? How does that work?
Yeah, great question. So we have a big list of major compounds that are the most popular that I've gone around talking to a couple of providers, and they've said, I like this one, this one, this one, with this percentage and this base. And so they kind of can give us their favorites, and I'm happy to go make them a pricing sheet and a list of everything that they said that they love. But with the compounds, a lot of it is dermatology is a big one. Pain creams is another big one. But a lot of times patients don't know what they need. Sometimes they can come in and say, I've had this in the past, and we can do what we can. A lot of times it is just us kind of recommending it to them. And the provider can say, I like having... the ABC cream, for example, is a popular one. And so they come in and it has the 3 ingredients in that, and that's a good pain cream for them. And so, I think it's just more personalized to the provider as well as the patient, but the providers have a lot of history and knowledge with what patients could use as well.
Yeah, I like how with compounds, usually the doctors prescribe that. You can, you can ask your provider if they knew about this, and if they don't, you can talk to the pharmacy and get that squared away. But also, sometimes there's really expensive meds, and it's kind of a cost saving to be able to go in there and Reed's, again, because they're independent, they can source from quality places all over, but they can find the best prices, and so they can usually help get those things taken care of at a less expensive price than you can find other places. So
that's a good point. And can I touch one more thing on there? We came up with a lot of cash price lists for everything we have. And a lot of times I'll travel around and doctors will ask, is this the cash price or is this with insurance? And I mean, the answer pretty much is always the same. Be like, we'll run the insurance anywhere if it helps them. A lot of times the cash price is cheaper, and a lot of times it is more beneficial for them to just pay that cash price. And so we've gone through and made our list, and we've been very competitive while maintaining the quality ingredients that we use. But we've tried to be very competitive, especially in the dermatology realm with our pricing. I don't think you'll find anything more competitive than the pricing we have, at least in Cache Valley.
That's great. I can't even think of what other questions I have right now. Bryce, do you have anything?
Well, I would like you to tell us a little more about the process of getting your meds switched over, or if someone is concerned about the price that they're paying, and so they can figure out, hey, does it make financial sense for me to go out to Reed's and do it, get filled there?
Yeah. If anyone is wanting to switch but they're concerned about the cost, we get questions like, do you take this insurance or this insurance? They can come in and we'll run it, and we'll see, hey, I'm pretty sure we can, but we'll run it. And more often than not, I mean, Eric told me personally, he's like, I've never seen an insurance that we couldn't take, at least for the dermatology meds I've been marketing. And I assume for most meds as well, we take pretty much any insurance. And so if they're worried about cost, they can come in, we'll tell them exactly what it would be. And then we can compare with what they have and what they've been paying and tell them the best option for them.
I had a friend that he's a diabetic, and so he had gone to somebody and consulted with how I need the best price. And he consulted, and we were at Reed's, we were able to knock down to even, I think, $25 cheaper a month because he just checked and verified. And as well as the delivery, I mean, it was just kind of a no-brainer for him to switch over. So there's definitely that pro there. And that goes back to that personal touch with the pharmacist. So
thank you, Bryce. We are at the end of our second segment. This is the Senior Moment Show. We'll be right back.
It's tough knowing how to care for an aging parent. Mom has always been there for me, but now I need to be there for her. When we found out she needed surgery, I wondered how I could attend to her needs and still be mom to my kids. I was so relieved to learn about transitional rehab at Maple Springs in North Logan. From the nurses to the physical therapists, it was like their whole staff was focused on helping mom get better. Maple Springs in North Logan was an answer to my prayers.
Learn more at maplespringsnorthlogan.com or call 753-9400.
Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram offers free delivery service 5 days a week, Monday through Friday throughout the valley. Just stay home and they will deliver to you. With 25 different suppliers, they won't have the shortage that others might have. Also, with compounding and many other services, they will be able to serve all your needs. In order to stay safe and help slow the spread, please call Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram at 245-DRUG and they will take care of you.
Hi, this is Bruce with Comfort Care. One of the ways we help loved ones stay in their home is by assisting with daily tasks. These may include bathing, meal preparation, medication reminders, and housekeeping. We even help with shopping, transportation, and errands. Most of all, we offer a trusted level of care. Let us help you live your best life possible with Comfort Care. This is Bruce, and you can call me at 754-7676. Comfort Care, 754-7676.
And welcome back to the Senior Moment Show. My name's Bryce Patton here with Sid Roeder, and we've been talking with Adam Smoot from Reed's Pharmacy about medicine and how different ways that can help you. And Adam, we were talking earlier about, how medicine's moving forward and helping people out. Are there any big breakthroughs or things that are going on right now that you're seeing a lot of that are helping people out? Kind of some of those bigger, things that are going on in the medical world?
Yeah. The big one right now is, it's the hot ticket item. It's the semaglutide and the tirzepatide, which are commonly referred to as the GLPs, or other known as Ozempic and Mounjaro are the big brand names for it. That's definitely been the hot ticket item the past 6 months plus, I'd say. And so that's something that a lot of people have had questions about. I've known people in my personal life that have asked me about it and what the process is, and it can be kind of scary, and we don't have a ton of data is kind of the fear there. But what I would say is, the data has looked great, at least from our patients that have come to Reed's and gotten that. We often start with the semaglutide, and with that...
and what is semaglutide for?
Yeah, so it's for the weight loss. Okay. Primarily, it's, in the past it had been kind of a diabetes drug, and then research had discovered that it actually helps with more than that, and it... I don't want to come out and make crazy claims that it's a miracle drug, but there is a lot of research showing that it can help in a lot of different avenues. And so, it's the Ozempic. But with Ozempic, a lot of times you're pushing $1,000 plus with that to go get the brand name. And so, since that, there's a market for a lot of a cheaper option for that. And so, what we've done is we get ours from an FDA-regulated manufacturing facility, so we're not actually making it ourselves in the lab there. Some pharmacies in the area are. Ours are just, we're getting it from a source. And so with that, everything's tested for potency, everything's batch tested, and so you can know that anything you get from us from the injectables, which is what, that's the process of the semaglutide, it's an injection. Everything you're getting is very it's tested for sterility and potency there. And so... a lot of times, in the past, they'd last about a month, and then you have to throw away any excess that you weren't using. Ours, it lasts 6 months in the fridge, so you're not having to worry about the headache of spending the money and then you're not using it, because it is a new habit to start. And so the thing I've seen is the pharmacists they're always very helpful and professional with that, but they've been going above and beyond to help people with this, because there is a lot of questions about it and a lot of concerns, I'd say, but the data is looking good so far with helping people lose weight.
Yeah, that's what I've read in the media about it. It's been reflecting that it obviously is good. On the other hand, I've also read that when people get off it, though, that can be, I don't know if you have any experience with people getting off it.
Yeah, good question. So we do emphasize health and lifestyle change along with starting it, right? Because, it is a very, effective drug, but with that, you do need to change your habits along with it. And so if you are living an unhealthy, lifestyle with it and you go right back to what you were doing before, chances are the weight will come back. But I think that's comparable to any, healthy thing you do. If you start running and then you stop and you start going back to your old habits, you're going to gain your weight back. And so A lot of people have used it as like a kickstart to starting new healthy habits and eating cleaner and making sure they're taking care of their body, because it is motivating to actually see those results a lot quicker than a lot of people are able to see just without it, I guess.
All right, Adam, that's awesome information there. But the other thing I was wondering about, we've had advances in vaccines. COVID's been a big one. Do you have any information on kind of what's going on with that right now and other vaccines?
Yep, so I just got the update today from the pharmacist. I was just checking. They're basically saying the CDC will probably have one out soon. We're staying updated with it to get one out, and we'll have it in the clinic as soon as we can. As soon as they announce that it's on the market, it shouldn't be too long before we are able to do that. We do have flu shots already. It is flu shot season. It's getting there with the fall weather, and so we're willing to do in the clinic. We can do the flu shots, and then RSV and shingles and pneumonia are the other three. The RSV and shingles, typically the topic is, the demographic is 60 and over. A lot of times insurance will cover those vaccines if they're age 60 and over, and so. Yeah, they're happy to do that. You come on in, and I believe there's a small cash price with that, and so.
Do you need an appointment for those, or can you just walk in and say, hey, can I get my flu shot today?
Yep, you can just walk right in. We'll make time for you, and you can get it right then.
That's excellent. I know the big thing is, so with shingles, it used to be that it was cash pay only, but now insurances are picking it up. And so if anyone has questions, they ought to call the pharmacy and check that out. So.
I actually have one last question. I know we're running out of time, but do you guys do any of the testing? I know some of the pharmacies offer for UTIs on women and for strep. Do you do that?
Yeah. Those are the two that came to my mind, was the UTI and strep testing. Those are the most popular, I would say, and they're happy to do that as well. I'm not actually sure what other ones we have, but.
Great, yeah. We're already coming up on the end of our show here. It's great to talk to you, Adam, but I want to give you an opportunity to mention your address and phone number slowly if somebody needs to write it down.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much I appreciate you letting me be here. Our address is 790 East Main Street down in Hiram. Remember, free delivery. And then the phone number is 435-245-3784.
Thank you, Adam. This is the Senior Moments Show. We were visiting with Adam Smoot. He's the Director of Marketing at Reed's Pharmacy in Hiram. And I also want to quickly mention our sponsor one more time, which is the Empowering Seniors Group. If you'd like to learn more about them, you can do so online at empoweringseniors.info or email us at empoweringseniorscv@gmail.com. And the CV stands for Cache Valley. We hope you tune in again next week.